two guys from piexelsplit, and that would be Bennet and Steffen.
Hi.
Hello. And we are talking about Deadly Days.
Right.
Hopefully not for us.
No, hopefully not.
So tell us a bit, what is the game about? I see pixel graphic.
Correct. Deadly Days is a zombie roguelite which takes place in the apocalypse, and we try to add a bit of contrast to the genre. Normally zombie games are dark and bloody. Okay, our game is also bloody, but we added color to the genre and a lot of humor, funny characters, for example Banana Man, etc. So that's it. And it's a roguelite. You have to manage a group of survivors and get progressively better and hopefully save the world. Yeah.
And what are your functions? Well, because actually it says managing partner on your
quite
cards.
abstract, right? Yeah, we are founders of the company piexelsplit. He's doing graphical stuff, marketing, etc. And I'm lead developer, I would call it. We are both managing the company. There are two more guys involved in the active development of the game, and the dog Rudy. And that's basically it.
Okay, so how you are setting yourself apart from the other zombie apocalypse games? What's special about your game?
Like I said, it's mainly about the humor that we add to the game. Also the style of the game is maybe a bit different than we are used to know in other zombie games. And I think the group management aspect is different because in the active game you control the whole crowd of these survivors. So you don't say, here's a waypoint, you go there, they are all in a group, because in every zombie movie or horror movie you never leave the group, right? So they all stick together, you move this whole bunch of characters around, and I think characters especially are also in general an important part, because we have over 50 different characters in our game, and each character has a different look and a different trait. So some just buff their stats, but also some others. For example, Chicken Man plays some eggs which explode eventually, or there is a teacher who, if he finds new survivors, they will raise their level to his level. So if he would be level 10, the new survivors would also directly get to level 10, which is quite useful. So and this in combination with all the items and powers that we have in our game leads to a lot of combination potential.
Oh, I have a question about the graphic style.
Yeah.
We're going pixel graphic. I know retro, pixel is hip, but I don't know if you know or maybe don't know. When I grew up with the Commodore 64, we had CRTs. It wasn't actually so pixelated as you have it on the roll up here, because of the CRT blur of the television or the monitor. So it's actually not really the way it has been in the 80s or 90s. So why did you decide to go for this very pixelated style anyway?
Actually, I would say it's some kind of modern pixel style, because we try to do the graphics kind of flat. That's the main difference, I would say. We choose the style because of the humor of the game, and so it was clear for us that we couldn't do a realistic art style. So that's why we choose this comic pixel look style, I would say. Yes.
And what kind of, I would say, is it more like an action adventure, or is it more like, does it have adventure elements in it? Like, do you have to solve puzzles and so on?
No, you are just slaying hordes of zombies and include a lot of stuff and get better with it. So I would say the part where you use your brain is the learning part. So there are different mission types that you can go on, and each mission type yields different resources, and you have to learn where you can get what, and you have to learn when you need what. So for example, there's a resource food, and you have to learn, okay, if the food is low, and if I would now get another survivor, then everyone will starve because we are low on food right now. And
So there is a strategic part in it where
Right.
you have to make plans ahead, what to do next to not starve.
basically, yes, you always have to make the optimal decisions from your current position. You have to equip the best items that you have that fit with the other character traits and your powers in combination, and the same for all the other stuff. And you are always getting new weapons which have randomly rolled modifiers, so you also have to do some inventory management there and choose the optimal weapon. Some characters even are better in melee battles, so you would likely give them some melee weapons instead of ranged weapons, etc. So that's all the kind of stuff that you have to think about to optimize your setup and to win the days, because progressively the zombies get quite strong and deadly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, as it's so much retro and pixelated, what's the target consoles or platforms you are going?
Yeah, right now we are working on the PC version, so on Steam, probably end of September, beginning of October is the release. And yeah, after that we want to do some ports for Switch and PlayStation. Mainly Switch is our main target, but we think we are using the Unity engine and it makes it quite easy to do the porting.
That would have been my next question.
Yeah, okay. Here's your answer. Yeah, and so probably Switch and PlayStation, maybe in the future even a mobile version, but that's not finally planned yet.
As a collector myself, is there a limited collector edition plan, or are you not going physical?
It is not physical, but if you now say you are creating demand for it, maybe we can convince the publisher to do a physical version.
Like the Larry game from last year.
Right, yeah.
Interesting. And when are you going to release it? What's your time frame plan you have?
Like I said, end of September or beginning of October. That's
okay.
Approximately.
For all platforms?
No,
step by step?
Step by step. All platforms is too much for our small team. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
But the game is already available in early access right now, and yeah, the final release will be then in September or October.
Why did you go with early access? Because lately a lot of press is talking negative about early access, saying that you get free beta testers for buggy games.
Yeah.
What's your take on it?
To be honest, we also wanted free feedback from the players, but we also said we will reduce the price drastically in this early access phase. So
you get reimbursed.
Huh?
You get reimbursed.
Yeah, right. So the price to the final release from the beginning of the early access phase is quite the double the price that. Yeah, and but we also communicated it up front, so the player knew, okay, you are active part of the development of the game, and I think it was the best decision because we also got a lot of useful feedback and it shaped the direction of the game, etc. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect.